right. That's we're live. Give it a minute. Let me post a comment. Hello to the three viewers out there. We're gonna give it about a minute or so, let it fill up first. But as promised, I have three guests on. I always try to keep my word. They are all returning guests, which is very good. So all right, well, we'll go ahead and get started here. So I'm joined by our guest, senior center Lane Grantham, junior defensive tackle slash nose guard, Hunter Largent, and sophomore wide receiver Danny Armstead. Gentlemen, I appreciate you all taking time out of your Monday evening to come on and talk to me here. I want to pose the question to the three of you. How is fall camp going for you all so far?
I guess I'll start. It's going pretty good. I mean, definitely, it definitely gets a little bit easier as far as like doing it. I've been through multiple camps and stuff like that, so I guess I just know more or less of what to expect and know how hard it is to grind through every day and day out. But it's going really good. Still healthy. That's like the main point: staying healthy and learning every day. So it's going pretty well for me.
You got it,
Go
Lynn.
ahead, Danny. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, camp's going well. Like Hunter said, just kind of trying to absorb as much as we can. It's wall-to-wall ball right now, so it's flying at you fast frequently. There's always new stuff, but I think the main part is guys are really pushing each other, competing really well, and we're having a lot of fun. We're going back and forth and just making each other better every day, which is what camp's about. So it's been really good so far.
Yeah, for sure. Just like Hunter said, this is my fourth fall camp, even though I'm a redshirt sophomore. So just coming in more like I feel more like a veteran. So just teaching the young guys the plays, just helping everybody, and also the offense just getting more chemistry. Because there's some people we didn't have in spring ball, so just getting them mixed in and getting chemistry with the quarterbacks, and just it's always going to be a grind, just up there all day, not much sleep, just meetings, lifts, practices, but as just doing fall camp over and over, you just know what to expect in the grind. So you just got to get through it.
Because now all you all have been through multiple fall camps. So as Danny just described, it's literally like you eat, sleep, live football. So what's the hardest part of fall camp?
I guess I'll go first. I mean, it's really, I mean, honestly, for me, it's just being able to push myself hard every single day, but not like because it's more like I feel like I've always struggled with like keeping my body healthy and make sure like I'm hydrated and stuff like that. So it's really the hardest part of me is like being able to be locked in off the field and what we have to do off the field to be prepared day in day out, more or less not on the field. Like when I'm on the field and I'm in the meetings, you have your teammates to help you like to do the right thing and to make sure they're like you're pushing water and stuff like that. But when you're off the field, you're by yourself. So it's more like I think I'd say the hardest thing for me is being when I'm off the field, making sure I'm taking care of my body, getting 8 hours of rest, drinking water and stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah. I think for me right now, I mean, this is my fifth fall camp, which is crazy to say. It feels like just yesterday it was my first one, but I think it's kind of the monotony of it all. You wake up, you do the same thing, you eat at the same time every day, you meet at the same time every day. So it's kind of just the like Groundhog Day on repeat. So um, what Hunter said is a great point. It's easy to do that stuff when you're around your teammates and it's just kind of second nature. But when you're at home, for the short time that you are home, doing the extra stuff to keep your body right. So whether that's rolling out, drinking enough electrolytes, water, getting your sleep, those things are really important that I think are often overlooked, in which a lot of guys can struggle with. So that's definitely a big part of the grind right now.
For sure. I think the thing about fall camp is the best ability is availability. And as you're getting older, it's just a lot of nagging injuries through fall camp. Maybe just sprained ankles or jamming your finger or just strain somewhere or sore quads, hamstrings. Just keep like as you get older, you're going to take care of your body and just what you're eating, what you're drinking. Always stand in the training room, getting treatment, even when you feel like the slightest hurt somewhere. So probably just the nagging injuries and then sleep, of course. So that's probably the hardest stuff about fall camp.
And I pose this question to both Lane and Hunter just because they were there last year. Is year 2 now under head coach Doral? What has been some of the biggest differences that you noticed or seen from last year's fall camp to this year's fall camp?
The biggest difference I see is, I feel like we're doing a lot more bonding stuff as far as like he's always done a good job with this as far as us. He knows that we grind day in, day out, hour after hour, but football, 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 football. He's putting in the time where we're just by ourselves and it's not necessarily football. We're just creating a better team, team chemistry and stuff like that. So I'd say the biggest difference is just more time. Away from the football. Yes, we're still in the facility. Yes, we're still around the same people, but we're not just watching film, practicing, working out. We're doing fun things, having like these little game shows. The first meeting of the day, start the day out. I mean, it's just stuff like that he's been doing, and the coach staff's been doing a really good job at getting us together more as a chemistry, as a team, as a family.
Did I cut out? Did I?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Your little screen went off, but you're back on.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I heard the back half of Hunter's. But I think being on the offensive side of the ball and being in the meeting room with him every day, I think intensity has really ramped up. Being in a new system, a new offense, that first year, it's a lot of getting the basics down. And right now we're really expanding upon the basics. We're adding new things. So the intensity has really picked up. And then, like Hunter said, we've added stuff like dinner with Doral every night. And then, the other night we had pizza catered in and guys brought up their PlayStations and stuff and just we're able to hang out and relax. So Hunter brought up a great point of just enjoying yourself outside of football and having that time to really get to know your teammates, your coaches, just stuff like that. So I think that's one of the biggest things from fall camp last year to this year.
And we talk about chemistry, and so I focus this question towards Danny and Lane because obviously, Lane as a center, you have to have relationship with your quarterback. Same thing at playing receiver, you kind of have to know your quarterback as well. Obviously, Steph is back, but then you add in Missouri Southern grad transfer Dawson Hurl. So I posed the question to both Lane and Danny: how is that going, and been kind of learning Dawson, learning his play style, learning what he likes and don't like, and what kind of player can UCO fans expect to see out of Dawson?
You can go ahead, Danny.
All right, yeah. Everybody knows Steph is definitely more of a dual threat guy. He can run the ball. He's a real big guy, so he's hard to take down. And Dawson, he has a good arm. They can both throw it real far. So we have faith in both those guys. Whatever quarterback's out there, we have faith we can be an elite offense. So just mixing both quarterbacks with the receivers, not making sure Steph throw it every single receiver. Dawson get to throw it all the receivers. So whoever starts or whoever is in the game, we feel comfortable with them. I think the coaches did a real good job switching the receivers out with the ones and twos just so everybody get time with both quarterbacks. So I think we'll be definitely straight with both quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of kind of our success in the spring was bringing Dawson in. I mean, he brings another facet to the game. He's really smart. He's got a really good command of the offense and a really good feel. Like Danny said, both quarterbacks can really sling it. Dawson can probably surprise some people with his legs sometimes. But yeah, I mean, Dawson's just a competitor in the weight room, on the field, just everything. And more than anything, he's a great teammate. He came in, bought into the system, bought into the culture and the program, and he's really taken a step forward with all the things that Coach Doral and the staff has kind of instilled in us since they've gotten here. So, for Dawson, I think you'll see a competitor, a great teammate, and just a guy that loves the game of football when he's out there on the field. So,
And to add on that, I think just bringing Dawson in has really just made Steph have someone to push him, and you can just see the fire in Steph's eyes, knowing that like he's gonna have to compete every day because Dawson's gonna come try to take the spot. And I think another good thing about two quarterbacks is just in case anybody has an injury or something crazy happens, like we have so much faith in whoever the second string is gonna be that there's no like we just gonna be able to be anybody with either quarterback. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that because just looking at the roster, the team does seem a lot more deeper and a lot more
For
talented
sure.
this year. So now having all that talent, like how is it pushing you all to make sure that you bring your A game every day?
It's definitely a good thing. I mean, pressure makes diamonds. I mean, ever since I've gotten here, I've been pushed. I mean, I know because I'm a second string right now. I've started the past 2 years, and then actually, my roommate, my best friend Zane, is actually the starting nose guard right now with me. Um, things happen, We me and him both played the spring as nose, and because we brought in talent at Zane's position, and we thought we were deep in different position, bringing me in Zane. We both have a lot of reps like that playing on D line, on playing on Saturdays, and so he had a more productive spring to me. But all it does is makes you drive to be a better player. I mean, because I know Zane knows that if he don't have a good practice, then I'm gonna be the starter the next day. And I know that if I'm starting or whenever, if I don't have a good practice, push myself every day and every snap, doing every rep with full intent, then I'm not gonna start. I mean, it's really something that keeps in the back of your mind that like when you get those doubts, like I'm tired, my knee hurts, I'm hurting. Well, most time your second, third string they're not going to hurt, or the other guys you're battling with. So you got to push yourself if you want that starting spot and you want that playing time.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of positions we've kind of beefed up every room, to be honest. And like Hunter said, that push from behind and or in front, it's a big thing, and especially here in camp because we talked about it yesterday in our scrimmages. We only have 2 scrimmages in camp, and that's full go, full live, and that's really your chance to kind of show out and show what you have. So the opportunities, although they seem like they're never ending, and camp seems like a drag, they start to dwindle. And especially now that we're going into week 2 of camp, it's in the moment it feels like it's dragging, but now looking back, it's like, dang, I can't believe we started a week ago.
Wow.
So the competition has just really brought everyone around, and it just brings a different fire when guys are not only competing against the other side of the ball, but they're competing within their position group. That just lets you know that on Saturdays the best possible player is going to be in there, and it also reassures you that like in Hunter's scenario right now, like there's not going to be a drop off between those 2 guys, which I think is really great, because I think to be able to go deep and to win games and win championships, you have to be able to have good backups, good starters. You need to have no fall off, and I think that's something that we've kind of struggled with in the past, is whether it's an injury or whatever it is, we've had a drop off. And I feel like this year there's no real drop off. Like a 3 could dang near be the 1. That's just how deep and how competitive these rooms are this year. So it's a great thing to have, and it's a great issue to have, honestly. So that's my kind of take on the deepness and whatnot of the rooms this year. So
Yeah, I kind of disagree with Lane. He said it best. I mean, receivers, we 3 deep at all X, Z, Y, all the positions H. So, I mean, we can all go out there and compete with the first string. Whoever's in that day is not a surprise. You see anybody out there with the ones, it's not a surprise because we all be making plays in practice.
And I want to, because I want to pose this to Lane, because this is his sixth year. I don't remember, and feel free to correct me here if I'm wrong. I don't remember a team in my time covering where I can look at the roster and not only see talent but see like proven experience. Like there's guys that have played a lot of football, which I feel like kind of gets overlooked there. And I look at every spot and I'm like, man, I feel confident if he's out there, he's out there, he's out there. Like how big of a morale and confidence boost is that to you all knowing that like there is very little drop off. So if injuries happen, if something happens, like you know that you're still in position to achieve the goals you all want to achieve this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a huge morale booster, and it's something that, just being on the offensive side of the ball, the best teams that I've played against in my time here at UCO throughout the years, they were deep. There's nothing worse than going out there on a Saturday and being like, okay, it doesn't matter if the starter's in or the backup's in or the backup's in. All three of them are good. And like I said, I think that carries a team a long ways, and it not only helps push everyone, but it's just like you said, it's a morale booster. It's something that you can look around and be confident because last year we had a lot of freshmen play, and a lot of freshmen get a lot of good reps and game time reps. And so now with them coming back, having a year under their belt, and then bringing in established guys that have played college football. I mean, you've got at any position, guys have played collegiate football. So, like you said, you look up and down the roster, it's like, okay, the experience speaks for itself. And whether or not you agree, I mean, on Saturdays, experience does have a lot to play with it. We've all been in games, tight games, blowout games, anything that you can imagine, and just having that type of experience about overcoming adversity or keeping your foot on the pedal, that plays a huge part into it as not only as a player, but as a team. And I think we've done a really good job in the spring, going all the way back to the winter, to the spring, to the summer, and now here in camp, we've been through a lot together and had a lot of experience together. So I think it's going to be a huge morale booster, and I think it's going to play in our favor in a lot of games this year.
Yeah, I think Coach Doro, he's in his year too, and I think he took like more of a win now approach with the way he recruited, because he brought in a lot of JUCO transfers at every position. He brought in a lot of people that are expected to come and get playing time now. He brought in D1 bounce backs at almost every position. We have a lot of those too. So he brought in a lot of freshmen too. So we have like basically half a new team. So I mean, it's real deep with a lot of players that are expected to come and try to play now. We brought in a lot of players that already came here and like juniors and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, being this deep, especially the D-line unit, we brought in every bit of, I think, four or five transfers and 3 freshmen. So, I mean, the battle with, just bringing new guys in, transfers like that, it's a good thing. You're bringing in talent. You're bringing in guys who have experience, like Lane said. And then you also, I feel like a lot of people don't see, like, the chemistry of like a unit or as a team. When you bring in transfers, they gotta bond. Like they can be good players. They can be good players, but if they don't bond with the team or with the unit, then it kind of, it shows like on the field productivity, if I can talk. But I feel like this group of the transfers and the freshmen we got in, D-line's higher than we've ever been. I feel really good about that. And us just having this talent and pushing each other on the field and knowing that each one of us are all coming. We only have 3 D-line starting spots. There's three D-line on the field time, and we're all competing for those 3 spots. But us being able to do that and know we're all gunning for each other's spots, but we still spend time with each other outside football, outside fall camp, and we still have that bond and stuff like that helps us, throughout the fall camp and throughout the whole season.
And that was going to be my next question, because I know Coach Doral mentioned at Media Day, I think he said the team's like 52% new. So I was going to ask, and I know Hunter kind of touched on it here, but the chemistry aspect, like you can be a supremely talented ball club, but have no chemistry and not perform anywhere near the standards. So from a chemistry standpoint, how are you all feeling about that? I know Hunter touched on the line, on the D line. Danny Lane, like, how is the chemistry going in your position groups?
You can go ahead, Danny.
I think the receivers, we one of the closest position groups on the team. I mean, we all get along. We joke and we know when it's time to get serious. You know, we know how to have the deep, serious conversations when we maybe had a bad practice. We don't have just one big leader. We all kind of lead as a group, and we all know everybody knows their role in the receiver room. Maybe like whatever it is. So I think it's just a sense of having a lot young guys to mix with kind of veterans and then a lot of upperclassmen guys too. And, you know, we just get along. You know, we do a lot of work outside of practice and stuff, and we love to hang out and just crack jokes. So chemistry real good.
Yeah, I mean, so far in the O-line group, I mean, we brought in 3 or 4 freshmen, and then we brought in a mid-year transfer, and they've all really fit well into our group. And I think that's one of the hardest things, and not only seeing new people come in your position group, but being a new guy in the position group is like, how am I going to fit in? And I feel like, you know, I'm speaking on those guys' behalves, but from what I see, like, they're having a great time. They're enjoying themselves, and that's the biggest thing. Coming here as a new guy, whether you're a transfer or a freshman, it's really hard. You're away from your family for the first time, or you're really far from home if you're a transfer. So the chemistry in the O-line room has really came together, and guys are just really investing in each other, and that's a big thing we talked about in the spring and in the summer was investing in these young guys. Because I remember when, you know, believe it or not, I was a freshman once, and those
20 years ago.
yeah, exactly. But, you know, I look back and I'm like, man, I'm thankful that, you know, Nick George, Tyler Stillwell, Ben Ralston, like, you know, those guys, they invested in me, and it really ended up paying off in the long run. So that's what we're trying to do. Being an old head on the team and in this position group is just, you know, invest in these guys and show them that we care about them and that we see a lot of potential in them. So.
And all three of you all's position groups, it's interesting because first I want to start with Hunter. I look at the D line. Clearly, we know what was lost to graduation, and we know what the talent is returning. And then, like you mentioned before, there's now 4 or 5 transfers in there that are also extremely talented. What kind of can UCO fans kind of expect to see out of the defensive line? Because I personally don't envision much drop off just because you all were deep last year, and I feel like you've gotten deeper so far. So, kind of, what can they expect out of the defensive line?
We brought in a lot of talent. We got a lot of return talent. I mean, a lot of our guys. Well, almost every guy in the room has played on Saturdays. They're have a lot of experience when it comes to playing on games on Saturday. There's a difference between playing on Friday nights and Saturdays. I expect a lot of good things. I mean, you can always expect. We can talk about the stats and all the stuff we expect. I expect us to rush the passer. I expect us to have great stats, and I expect us to be one of the best units on the team and in the conference. But what I do know for a fact is we will always be one of the most hardworking units. We're going to be there. So I'll make sure of that, and so will Coach Sanders. We're always going to work hard. We're always going to be there for our team, and I don't think we're ever shy down from any O-line in this conference. I'm really confident with who we brought in as transfers. I'm really confident in the guys we brought back. We did lose a couple of really important seniors last year, and I hope they're doing well. I mean, I still talk to them, but yeah, they're doing well. But I mean, I expect great things. I mean, I've been a part of a lot of different units like that, and I'm really enjoying the time spent with my guys and the time we're spending on the field. So I expect a lot of good things.
And then I want to pivot to Lane because the offensive line last year, I know it started slow for you all as a unit. It's kind of started slow for the whole team. As the season progressed, though, I felt like you guys were getting better and better. I know that still kind of was a question mark. You all returned everybody of note from last year. So, kind of, what can UCO fans expect out the offensive line? Like, can they now expect a line similar to what there was in 2019 where you had the Tyler Stillwells and the Nick Georges of the world. Is it? Would you say that it's closer to that now than maybe it has been the past couple of seasons?
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of touching on what I said earlier is having our second season in this system. It only grows confidence, and I think last year we kind of hit our stride after the first 3 or 4 games because, like I said, being comfortable in the system and just knowing what to do. So I think fans and everyone that's watching can expect for the O line to be a physical group, a smart group, and a group that people can depend on. Coach Joel says it all the time. There's 5 of us on the field at all times, no matter what. So we are the majority on the offense. So we got to lead not only by example, but with words and physicality and set the tone. So that's what we've been really trying to improve upon in the spring and this summer and so far in camp is just set the tone, play with physicality. And, what I tell my guys all the time, physicality fixes a lot of problems, but being soft doesn't fix any, and it makes it 10 times worse. So that's really the big thing we're trying to hone on in this year and just kind of grow in that aspect. So.
And then I go to Danny because Danny has an interesting view of this because he wasn't here last year when there kind of was a let's say a lack of playmaking out wide. You come in, Darius comes in, Tariq comes in, Christian comes in. It's almost a whole new room. You've got TD who left out the comment here. I appreciate him for coming in. But it's a whole new unit. It's like it's night and day in terms of explosiveness, in terms of what each person brings to the table. So, what kind of is that unit looking like, and what can UCO fans expect to see out of that wide receiver unit?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing they can expect from our unit is a lot of big plays. And the way Coach Dora runs the offense, it's a lot of run the ball, and then play action, deep shot. And a lot of our receivers, we know we might not get a lot of targets, but when we do get a target, it's going to be a big play. It's going to be a goal line fade. It's going to be a deep post. It's going to be a go. It's going to be something that takes the top off the defense. So a lot of the receivers Coach Curley brought in are people that can make a lot of deep plays, deep threats, and we most of the receiver core has shown in practice that we can all make the big play. Me, Darius Melton, he gonna make a bunch of big plays. TD is very consistent. Jake Delso, he's gonna make some crazy catches. Romero, he be getting past the safeties and corners. So yeah, just a lot of the people he brought in. Tariq, he's been out, but he's a slot that's gonna compete. And all of us, we just be making a lot of big plays in practice, and we just try to go out there and give a spark for the offense.
Now we know in 17 days the season starts. Very big game against very good Kearney team. Because both Lane and Hunter and I have been here. The slow starts have kind of hampered things. Pretty much my entire time covering dated back to 2017. In some cases, it's probably cost the at-large playoff bid. So I posed the question to the three of y'all: with this probably being the most talented, experienced team from top to bottom in probably quite some time, I would arguably say at least the last 4 or 5 years. How can you all get off to a fast start this year in order to set you all up for that late season and hopefully postseason success?
I think a lot of it just comes from practice and establishing those good habits. I think last year, obviously, with the first game of the year not going the way we wanted, I think it humbled us not only as an offense or a defense, but as a team and the whole. But I think we've talked a lot about it, and we just had a team meeting yesterday about our team goals for this year, and starting fast was one of the team goals. And I think in the games that we won and the games that we competed really well, we started fast. So just practicing those good habits, being great on offense as a first downs, things like that, just really help correlate to starting fast. And I think especially this year. I mean, it's a Thursday night home opener. I mean, that's going to take care of it. I mean, in itself, as far as like energy goes and things like that. So I think as long as we can keep doing that in practice and keep building and stacking days, that'll lead to a good confidence on both sides of the ball, to where we're not overly cocky, but we know what's about to happen. So I think that will help with the issue of in the past of, not starting fast and just kind of waiting for someone to throw the first punch. Like, we've kind of taken the mentality that we're going to be the ones to throw the first punch this year. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of hitting off what Lane said and taking it day by day. I mean, I feel like we've really enforced the fact, we're going to take stuff. We're going to worry about week one and during week one. We're not looking at week 2, week 3, week 4, whatever. We're going to worry about what we have to do that day and that week to accomplish the goal of winning that game. I feel like in the past, we've kind of looked to week 2 and stuff like that before we handle week 1. And also it goes back to just knowing that we have the confidence and the willpower to, we can compete with any team in this conference. And so just knowing that and like towing the line of cocky and confident and going in there and knowing that, we have the talent, we have the capability, the coaching, the players to do anything that we need to do to win the game. So it just goes back to, taking day by day, stacking days, getting better every single day until currently week 1.
Danny, you can have any thoughts on that?
What was the question?
About how can you all start fast this season?
I think just going out there and playing confident right out the gate will be a big way to start fast. This is a new season, a lot of new players, so it's just having the mentality that we can go out there and just score right out the gates, being confident, going out there and being aggressive, pushing the ball down the field, be physical on the run game and everything. We should be fine on that part.
And then Danny, I wanted to ask you, because you go up against these guys every day in practice, which is the secondary. I know at times last year it was a criticized unit. I'm looking this year, and it's a lot more experience. It's really deep. What have you seen from that secondary, kind of going up against them every day, that should give UCO fans confidence about that unit heading into the season?
I think the DBs, they play with a lot of confidence, and I think confidence is key a lot of the time in football. They're going to compete. They're going to be aggressive. They try to make a lot of turnovers. I'm talking about after you catch the ball, everybody come, try to punch it out. There's a lot of more interceptions, trying to intercept the ball. They're just going to compete real hard. They play a lot more aggressive, a lot of press man, being physical, trying to make plays on the ball. And I think that's one of the most impressive things out there. And a lot of the young freshmen, you're going to be surprised, but a lot of the young freshmen going to have a chance to play a role too. So you got to watch out for them too. They impressed me for sure, the freshmen.
And I posed this question to the three up here of y'all. Like, who are some names that maybe UCO fans aren't really thinking about, not in the forefront of their mind, that might kind of surprise people this upcoming season?
I mean, offensively, Trayvon Woolfork's a big one. The running back, he showed a lot. He's grown a lot since he's gotten here. So I think he's a name that a lot of people obviously won't know, but after the first game, they'll know a lot. I mean, like Danny said earlier, I mean, from top to bottom in that receiver group, I think any given week, if week 1 Danny goes off for 200 yards, maybe week 2 they're like, all right, this Danny guy, we need to really show him some attention. Then it's a guy like Darius that'll go out and he'll give you 200. I think it's any given week, any of those guys in that receiver room can really make a name and a statement for themselves. Cayman Bradford, he's a big one. He's on the offensive line. He's a mauler, and he plays with a lot of energy and excitement, and that's something that people will see right off the bat. So offensively, those are some kind of new names that I think a lot of guys will be excited to hear about and see about and just watch. So
I know. I mean, as far as D line, some of the transfers. Reed Lindsey, transfer from OU. He's going to be a very powerful force up front. He's actually running with the ones right now. He's going to be very good in the run game, pass game. He's a dual threat as far as being an all around defensive lineman. Real big body. Another one is Zachary Stillwell. I mean, he's been here for a couple years. He redshirted last year. He is running with the twos right now. Also, we all know his older brother was an O lineman here. That was also really good. But them two, they're going to be spotlight players. I mean, you're going to hear their name called. You're going to see them making them TFLs, a sacks, stuff like that. They're going to be good players. So it's probably my two defensive linemen that fans will get to know.
Danny?
Oh, did he freeze up?
He might have froze. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
All right, Danny, you got any names that UCO fans should kind of keep a lookout for besides yourself? Obviously, I know you're gonna say yourself. So,
Besides myself, yeah, but a freshman to look out for is Cam Manahan. He's a freshman cornerback from West Texas. He has a chance to be a 4-year starter. I'm talking about besides Monte, he give me the most trouble out of all the DBs. Like that kid, he has a bright future. He has a chance to be a 4-year starter. On the offense, I say Kamen Bradford. That's my guy, but real talk, he has a chance to be All-American, All-Conference here. He going to stand out before the first snap. Just looking at him, he going to be aggressive, physical, nasty, pancakes. I'm talking about everything. And then receivers, probably besides me, is definitely Darius Melton. He can do it all. We give him on jet sweeps. We give him bubble screens, everything, kick return, punt return. Besides me, he out there catching deep balls. I mean, he's going to be a guy that's you definitely going to notice. So probably them three for sure.
And I know you all scrimmaged yesterday. So how did that go?
It went pretty good. Defense had a good day. We really flew around, and it's really our first chance to see how with all these new faces, it's really our first chance to see how the chemistry works at a live speed. So I think it went real well for the defense. D-line played real good. We played real well, but we also had some mess ups, and it's good. I mean, first scrimmage is going to happen. We have to have stuff to learn off of and get better. It was a great learning experience as a team, a good opportunity for us all to play against each other and make the offense better and vice versa. All around, it was a good scrimmage. I mean, I thought it was handled well, and it was all in all a good day.
You got it, Lane.
Sorry, I cut out again. What was the question?
No, you're good. I was just asking how the scrimmage yesterday went.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a tale of two tales. I think for the first time in camp, offensively, we hit a pretty big lull. Just speaking for my group, we did not have a great day, but I think it's something that we needed. We've stacked good days offensively, and especially on the offensive line, we've gotten better each and every day. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but I think it's good for guys to feel the flip side of things. And hopefully it just shows a lot about our group that even though Sunday didn't necessarily go how we wanted, tomorrow when we start back in practice, guys take it more seriously and guys really take the coaching and the film and, what we messed up on, they take that and apply it to practice. So, like I said, just kind of a tale of two tales and something that we definitely are going to bounce back from and, start stacking good days together again.
Yeah, I don't think things went according to plan or perfect, but I think it's something we need as an offense, and I think the effort was definitely there, so we don't have to worry about that. I think it's just being more consistent all around, all position groups, and just executing better, but the effort's definitely there. And I think because it was an open scrimmage, maybe Coach Dora wasn't trying to do all these crazy plays. We kept it kind of simple, but the defense definitely did their job. They did very good. They look ready to go, and offense. Next time we get our chance, we definitely gonna be ready for that.
Now I know last year around this time, I think you all were picked ninth, I believe, in the conference. I remember talking to Dante McGee. He took that very personally. That was the most like mad I've ever seen Dante before in my life. I don't remember offhand what you all were picked this year. I do know when I saw that tweet, Danny had, had commented underneath that tweet was not.
Had
so
to, had to.
so I gotta ask, like, how much more fuel is that adding to the fire? Like, here you all were last year. You beat Northwest Missouri wire to wire. You competed with the best teams. You surprised just by your preseason standing. You overachieved. This is a significantly better ball club. So, like, how much more fuel is that add to the fact that, like, even though you all that's been proven, that they're still doubting you?
These other teams, they just don't know what's coming for them. They just don't know. And like the fact that I wasn't here last year and this team beat Northwest and competed with Emporia, beat Emporia, and a lot of these top teams, it's just scary. It's just very scary for what this team is capable now because we're deeper. We brought in a bunch of transfers that can come and play right away. You know, there's guys that was here that's still starting that the transfer just gonna push. You know, Coach Doro, he feels more comfortable. He's gonna open up the playbook. We're gonna take some more deep shots. We're gonna pass it more. It's gonna be a scary. We gonna catch a lot of people by surprise. But I promise you, our team, we're not gonna be surprised with the way the season goes. We're not.
I definitely add some, fire to you as far as playing. It's definitely a drive day in, day out to know people do doubt us. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be doubters. It's how it works. And that's how life goes. Not everyone sees succeed. It doesn't really – like I'll look at it, and, yeah, it does make me mad stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it does not bug me. I'm going to do my thing every single day and help my unit and push my teammates without a doubt, whatever happens, what's said. I just know I'm confident in what our team does every Saturday. I'm confident in our team. So stuff like that, it doesn't really affect me. I enjoy doing this. This is by far my most confident year here. I feel like I'm playing good. Team's playing good. Chemistry's real well. There's no ceiling to what we can accomplish. So yeah, extra fire is extra fire. It's just fuel. So
Yeah, I think it definitely it lights a fire under a lot of guys. But I think the biggest thing is we're excited. Being picked fifth, and the media and by the coaches, or whatever it is, it just allows us room. We're not exactly expected to go out there and be the top dog and whatever, but that's just how we like it. And just like last year, how we beat Emporia State, who ended up going on. I think they lost one game after us. So they went on a roll. Just beating a team like that, beating a team like Northwest, shows that we have that capability, but it's just something that we don't put a whole lot of extra pressure on ourselves just because we're ranked fifth. Like Hunter said, the ball's going to take care of itself, and I think that's something that we're really focused on this year, is just being 1-0 every day. And what I told some of the guys when they talked about it is like, you know what, that's fine. Let all those other teams be preseason ranked one, all that stuff. But what really matters to me is that postseason ranking number one. After week 11, being number one and having a chance to go play in the playoffs, which we haven't done in a long time. So I think it's just a little extra added to the drive that we already have. So.
My final like serious question is, and I hate to bring up the paper memory to both Lane and Hunter here, but Pitt State, we saw what they looked like on the sideline, and we saw them on the field, and I was like, there's a difference that we were if Pitt State was here, I felt like here last year. Do we now, knowing, given the transfers, given another offseason in the weight room, in the system, understanding each other more now, do we feel as if now we are either close or on that level to where we can go out there and know that like we can beat these guys if we play the way we know how to play. Because I look at Northwest and I felt like you all were going to win that game. I felt like you all were the better team going into that game, and it showed. But we know Pitt State kind of is the gold standard in the conference. So do we feel like you're at that level now?
Yeah, I mean, we've came a long way from last year and stuff like that. In the weight room, transfers, more talent, better chemistry, and stuff like that. I know we will always have a chance to compete. We can beat any team in this conference. I feel like we're on that level to be, a really gold standard team. We just got to keep worrying about the day we're on and the week we're in, stuff like that. I think that for us to run the table and then do what we got to do week in and week out, we just got to lock in on the day that we're doing and attack the day every single day and stack days. I feel like in the past we've looked, a couple weeks, we have Northwest week 3 or we have stuff like that, and we've really put a focus on determining and stacking days, stuff like that. So I really do feel like we have a chance to do good things this year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of, I think, what we built this year, or so far this year, is gives a lot of credit to Coach K. This is by far my hardest offseason, not only physically but mentally. Just pushing each other and, trying to get guys to think of things in different ways, different points of view. So I think we came together really well in the spring, and then when we added some guys, after the spring and whatnot, I think this summer we were able to really find out a lot about each other and about the team that we're going to have. And Coach K talks about all the time about, we're not just going to win the big games. We're not going to go and win majority of the games. We're going to run the whole table. So I think that we have that chance to go and prove that. But like I just said, like we have to prove that. We have to go out there and, last year playing on the road was something we really struggled with. So the fact that, or what's going to make it even more sweeter is that when we play and compete well and beat these teams, it won't even be at home. It'll be away, on their own home turf where it's like, that'll be the really, I feel like the big turning point for us as a football team is being able to compete not only week in, week out, but at home, away, in the Walmart parking lot, wherever it's at. Like we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play the brand of football we know how to play. So
Dan, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I know you weren't here last year, but no. Okay. Now, I want to pose this to Lane because I know you and Steph were up there for media day last month. Yeah, last month. What was that experience like for you?
it was awesome. I was really proud to for Coach Doyle to ask me to, me and Steph to go and represent the football team. It was a lot of fun. I think the best part of it all was just being able to connect with those guys. It was me, Steph, Coach Doyle, and Chris Brannick. And we, on the car ride up there, we were just telling stories. We went out to dinner, just telling stories, just kind of, it wasn't all about football. So I think that was the best part of it all, was just those genuine interactions, getting to know Coach Doyle more. He's just a character. He's got story after story, and he's just a guy that you could listen to him talk all day. So that was probably my favorite part. It was cool to be in that environment with all the other players, with guys that I've played against for, going on my 5th year now. So just kind of talking to them, getting the insight here and there, talking to some of the head coaches, and just really getting to see what the MIAA is really about. So
I'm thinking of that, like you, Peyton, Marlo, Dylan, you all been here for a long time. So, and I know you touched on this a while ago, but like you playing with Tyler Stillwell and now you're playing with his brother, like is that just a more of a like I've been here for a long time moment? Like does that like I gotta ask, it's not as if it's like, okay, Tyler finished, and then like the next year Zach was here. No, like there's kind of a gap there. So, like, does it
Oh
ever hit?
yeah,
Man, I've been here for a long time.
yeah. You want to know when it really hit me? When Zach became my roommate. That's when it really hit me.
Oh, I forgot y'all are roommates. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's awesome. Not very many people can say that they've played with two sets of brothers, which I have. I've played with Tyler and Zach, and I've played with Alex Quevedo and Nikki Quevedo. So yeah, it's something that I never thought. I never thought honestly that this point would come, but I'm grateful for it. I'm glad that I'm still here and still with this team, and it was the big part of me coming back was last year, and having a positive season, having the first winning season since 2019. It's that and the guys. I mean, I couldn't give it up yet. So although yes, I am old, I do understand that. I'm grateful for it, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate these guys, and they are some of the best people I've ever met. So,
Oh, thanks, man.
of course.
What year did you come here again? Sorry, I'm just
Okay. So you're acting like I'm old, even though I'm a year older than you. You got here the year after me.
So you're still older. You're still older. So I got.
Wait, Hunter. So you have what? 2 years after this year?
I have this season and next season. I have 2 more seasons.
So yeah. So you'll be a fifth year too.
Yeah, I'll be a 5th year. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not there yet. Well, you matter.
You're not there yet. That's true. You're not there yet.
I feel like though, because like as far as, I mean, D line wise, all of our old guys left. I mean, the only senior we have in our group is Mike Pope, and Mike Pope transferred here my first year, so he's only it's like we're me, him, and Zane are like the old guys now, and it's just kind of like, man, that's a little weird because for like a year or two ago, I was just a pup, and this year during the COVID year, and that was just kind of weird. But yeah, getting old is not fun. My body hurts.
Yeah. I was about to ask that because I saw Hunter over there laughing at people. So I'm like, he's not far off being an old head himself here now. We're thinking about it. So like, I don't know. And even Danny from a standpoint, like I get the fact that he's a sophomore, but this is what like because you what redshirted? Yeah. So like we can even say he's a spring chicken himself.
Yeah. It's just so funny to me because some like these younger guys come to fall camp and they're like 18, and they're, oh man, my body's hurt. Like, well, that's my 4th year. I've been through a partially torn pec, a shoulder surgery, all kinds of things. Like it just give it a little while. Give it a little while.
Now, when you tell them that though, like, does that change their opinion then, or are they still think like you're blowing it completely out of proportion, or that won't be them? Like,
yeah, they're stubborn like I was when I first got here, and I was like, no, y'all are just being babies about it. Like y'all are not hurting. I mean, I thought I hurt when I came out of high school. Like I thought I did until now, which I mean, it's kind of a good thing. Your body's telling you what you need. You need to hydrate. You need to take care of your body. Cold tub. The freshman D linemen hate getting in cold tub. I make them get into it every day. They don't like it, but they're going to thank me when their body feels great and stuff like that, and they're feeling a lot better. So it's just it comes in being an older guy, and giving these younger guys tips to get through fall camp. Like I had to have a conversation with the freshman D lineman the other day about sleep. I was like, you have to get sleep. Your body's not going to heal. Your body does all its healing while you're asleep, so you got to sleep 8 hours. The coaches say it, stuff like that. But sometimes when the coach says something, it doesn't always get some of the younger guys, because they just haven't been here long enough. They don't really know how college. They're a week into college football, and roughly it's the hardest time. It's fall camp. Like that's one of the most hardest times during the season. So it's better sometimes if a player sets them down. Hey, dude, I've been through it. I've done it. And I know what it feels like to not get sleep. I know what it does to sleep, and it definitely is a lot better.
And so along those lines, since all 3 of you all for intended purposes are considered old heads. What would you say probably has been like the best piece of advice that you got when you were younger that you maybe didn't believe until you went through it and was like, if I had listened, I could have avoided this situation?
I think something that I've been really trying to preach to my guys is, it's not only physically, but this is a very mentally like exhausting time. And it's not only just like, okay, like with learning plays or like, trying to be the best that you can. It's like exhausting from the standpoint of like putting the stress on yourself and trying to be the best player you can be. So with my guys, I've just been trying to tell them is like, when you go home, Coach Doral really believes in, getting away from football and being able to decompress. So I've been trying to really tell my guys is like, take care of all your football stuff, like your film watching, that stuff that you have to do, take care of it, before you get home. So when you do go home for a couple hours, you're not there still like, frantically going over film and worrying and stuff like that. You're able to really decompress and relax, because I remember when I was a freshman, that's all I did. I was so worried about messing up and so worried that I would screw something up and it would make the whole play a disaster and like everyone would hate me. And like, as a young guy, just thinking that stuff, like, and they told me, and I was like, like I understand that, but I want to be the best I can be. So it was times where I didn't have to be doing that. It's times when I should be sleeping and I'm up watching the same clip over and over again about how I messed up, what if I'm going to get my butt chewed the next morning, like stuff like that. So really just the getting away from football and decompressing, not only on your off days, but when we get to go home for a couple hours at night, and just really taking care of that and your mental, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is not only is this a physically trying time, it's a mentally trying time as well. And it can really, that stress can really stack up, and it may not be a big deal on day 2 or day 3, but on day 7 or 8, it could all come crashing down. And if you don't have that outlet, it just makes that such a bigger thing than it could have been. So
I'd say the biggest thing that I try to tell the guys is like, there's a lot of little things that go into that help you. Kind of like I said earlier, cold tub, stretching. You can stretch while you watch TV at night. Or, you can take time. Like take some time to really, like you said, kind of mental thing. Take some time where you're not on your phone or you're not watching TV, and like think about what you're doing, and like make sure you're sleeping well and set a schedule and stick to a schedule. But these little things, they all come into play. I mean, your water intake, your sleep, what you're eating, when you're eating, how much you're eating, all this comes into play, because when you boils down to it, our bodies do a certain, like your body performs at a certain level when you do a certain, like we do certain things to it. Just like if you take care of a car good, it's going to run for a long time and run really well. If you put crappy gas in it, it's not going to run that well. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of Jason Smelcher, a whole strength coach. He said, you don't put 87 in a Ferrari, so why would you do it to your body? But it's just like little things. I mean, take care of your body and take care of your mind, and so and pretty much all I can really think of.
Yeah, just like Hunter said, I think the biggest thing for advice is dealing with injuries. And I think before college, I never got injured like that, but just being in college, taking all these hits, it's a different game. So just learn how to be proactive with not getting injuries in the future and dealing with the ones you have now. And the biggest thing is not rushing back from injuries, and just knowing how to deal with them when you have them, know how to prevent them, and know how to keep them from going away too is probably the biggest thing for advice. Yeah.
As we wrap up here, if anybody if that's watching, you have any final thoughts, questions, please do get them in now. Now I know it's preseason. I know Lane's the Eagles fan, Danny's the Saints fan. Hunter, remind me again, who was your team?
I'm a Green Bay fan.
Okay, he's a Green Bay. Now I did watch Green Bay when they played the Bengals. Now, were you impressed by what you saw out of Jordan Love?
Oh, a little bit. I really didn't get to watch. I saw some of the clips. I saw a couple good balls from him, stuff like that. It just hurts, not seeing my man A-Rod back there throwing the ball. But, Faith and Jordan Love, we're doing it this year. Especially Blaney's take down that ugly Eagles flag in the back of his room. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I like Jalen Hurts. I don't like Jason Kelsey. That's the only Eagles people that I like. But yeah, I'm impressed with Jordan Love. People forget last year, he played against the Chiefs and he played really well when Rodgers was suspended. It was last year, year before. Can't remember. So the kid's got some talent. Okay. People are always looking down. Now A-Rod's, some big shoes to fill, but I think he's going to do it. I'm not worried about it.
Glenn, you got any kind of rebuttal there for him now? He's over there telling you to take the flag down. So
Yeah. I was on mute, but I was actually giving Hunter some props because Green Bay does have a history of those backup quarterbacks being, when the main guy leaves,
Yeah.
they have Hall of Fame careers. So
don't forget the Brett Favre and A-Rod. That's what that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Now,
Yeah.
I'm saying Green Bay has lucked out. Like the past, I looked up it. The past 30 years, we've had Hall of Famer quarterbacks. Because we had Brett
you've had
Favre.
you've had 4 quarterbacks in the past 30 years.
Yeah, it's we've literally we've been very, very blessed.
Yeah.
And now it's just Jordan Love's just got to hold up his bargain. Okay, because he's even perform.
Yeah, I mean, my rebuttal is, that's fine. We're hated. I understand it, but I'm excited for it. I watched the preseason game. I saw a lot of good things. I'm really excited to see Jalen Carter play. He had 2 snaps, and on his very first snap, he got a QB pressure. So that's very exciting to see. I think Ian Book, who played, he's the third-string quarterback. He needs to go fill out a UPS form because that will be his newest job after that preseason game. That dude was absolute hot garbage. But yeah, I'm excited for it. We have a really tough schedule this year. You got to go to Arrowhead. You got to go play. San Francisco's coming to the link, so I'm excited for it. I think I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts. I've heard a lot of good things about him so far in camp. So I'm just excited for it. Hopefully they can get it done because I think after this year, I think Jason's definitely done, and I think you give Lane Johnson maybe 2 years after this. I want to get those guys, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. I want to get those guys another ring. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I will say I was impressed though by Tanner McKee. The dude out of Stanford. When I saw him picked, I was like, of course, Philly picks a guy that probably had early round talent, but had to play for a very bad Stanford team. But I mean, poor Ian.
Yeah, dude is playing quarterback and was scared to throw the ball. I don't understand, but no, it was good. It was good to see some of the guys, the new additions. DeAndre Swift had some good runs. I think the linebacker position played fairly well, trying to figure that out. So, like I said, I'm just excited to watch some good ball this year.
And then Danny, I know you're a Saints fan. I know when we talked, you were salty. Sean Payton decided to coach Denver. Now I don't know if you saw that Cardinals game. The way Russell Wilson was getting utterly destroyed back there. Did you take some sense of gratification in watching Sean Payton's return kind of slowly go downhill there?
Yeah, because it looks real bad up there in Denver. I'm talking about Russell Wilson. He couldn't get nothing going. The starters were playing until what was it? Late in the second quarter.
Almost the whole first half.
It's getting off to a bad start. And we got a first-round pick from Denver, so as long as they keep going down, Saints go up, it's all good.
Who's the quarterback for the Saints?
Derek
Who
Carr.
is it? Derek. Oh.
Yeah.
He's traded.
I ain't worried about it. No one cares. No one cares about the Saints. No one cares about New Orleans. No one cared about Philly until last year, okay? Not worried about that. Packers. number one, son. I ain't worried about it.
Derek Carr gonna get us to the playoffs. We in the worst division in the NFL. He gonna get us to the playoffs. That's all we need for now. That's it. We ain't been to
Derek
one.
Carr is washed up. He is not doing anything. He couldn't do it at the Raiders. He's not going to do it in New Orleans.
He better than Ritter. He better than Bryce Young right now. He better than
Bryce Young's like 19, dude.
Yeah,
I hope.
it's
Derek
easy
Carr's been
division.
in the league for 15 years. I hope he is.
Hey,
What are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Baker Mayfield on the Bucks, so we should be good for the playoffs. Win the division, 9-8. Come on.
Saints will win that division.
Yeah,
They will
9-8.
win that division.
Who's on that division again? I'm sorry. Hold on. You run it back for me real quick.
Ritter, Falcons, Baker Mayfield, Buccaneers, and then Bryce Young, Panthers.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, I hope you win. Yeah, okay.
Wait. Oh,
Good job,
yeah, but yeah, I was about to say, like, is there something like if you win that division though? Like, are you really proud of that? You know, it's like, you know, it's like the year that, like it was the year Washington won the NFC East at 7-9. Like, are you really proud of that though? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we won the division. Yeah, we could go to the playoffs, but like,
that's like 200 yards in flag football. Like who? I mean,
Year one.
that's really what it's like.
Year one, Derek Carr. Year one. Year two, we can ask for some more.
No, Lane, when
Gotta
did you
build.
start liking Eagles? I'm curious. When did you start liking Eagles?
So when Lane Johnson got drafted in 2000, was that 11 or 12? He was my favorite college football player, and I was so young that I didn't really even know like how good of a player he was. It was just like we have the same name, so.
Oh, that's cool. And now that's cool. Okay, respect.
Thank
I
you.
like Brett Favre, so
Saints
Okay.
beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Saints
You
beat
know
the
what?
Eagles last year.
They did. The Saints
At
did
Philly.
beat the Eagles.
At
They
Philly.
did.
Andy Dalton?
They did.
Was that Andy Dalton?
I think Andy Dalton. Yeah, that was.
Interesting.
That was. But I will
Yep.
say, New Orleans was at home going into December, and Philly was still playing in February. So.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Dude, thank you.
Fair enough.
It was awesome. But like,
now,
I read. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go for Hunter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really loud. But like, no, we missed it last year. Okay, no, take it on the chin. But it was like I read, like I was one of the top guys. Oh my gosh, not Skip Bayless. Who's the other one? Okay, one of the the dudes in the talk shows.
Shannon Sharp.
No, not Shannon Sharp. Is Skip Bayless the one that was on the show with Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, first take.
Okay,
Maybe
maybe
not
that's
first
it.
take. Skip and Shannon. Yeah.
But he was saying it was like I forgot. It was like the last like 20, 40 years. Green Bay's been in the playoffs like 19 times, and it was like, you know what, y'all can have an off year. So we took our off year, and this year is the Twins tour. So watch out, Jordan Love. They're gonna call Jordan Love the piggy bank. He's gonna be dropping dimes on them. Not worried about it.
Okay, now I have to ask Daddy. Now, how long though you think Saints fans are going to give Derek Carr before there's some calls for Jake Haener to play? Because I got a feeling like I could, because you gotta imagine like if Derek Carr, if you get Raiders Derek Carr, I feel like at a certain point, right? It's like, could Haener do any worse? Haener was pretty good, So, like, do you think that there'll be calls for him, or you think they'll give Carr a honest shot at it?
I think Derek Carr is more of like a top-level bridge quarterback. I think we'll give him 2 to 3 years. And then Haener, I don't think he has expectations to ever start for the Saints. But if he surprises people, I'll be down for it. But probably when Derek Carr is done, we're going to try to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Dunning has a question here. I think it's a good one. He said, if they did a UCO Hard Knocks, which player would star?
Oh, me? What are you talking about? Me?
I was about to say it wouldn't be me because I don't do a whole lot. I wake up, go to the facility, and then I stay in the facility. So it'd be a pretty boring episode if I was on there. But I mean, Cayman Bradford would be one to put on there.
Yeah, I was about to say Cayman. I was always the first one to say.
Big Cayman would be a
Of course,
would be a great one. Steph would probably be a good one. Lamb would be a funny one.
Good. Be kind of embarrassing time. Like, okay, Lamb, settle down, son. But other than that, it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, those would be some good ones.
Colby would be pretty.
Yeah, funny. I think honestly, if you got Kellen Culberson, Noah Dobson, Robert Givens, and Montrell Lee, you get those four together.
Good Lord.
Hey, they are never apart. That would probably be some.
It's like the Stooges running around the SPC. Yeah, especially Trail. I hope Trail sees this.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But no, but as we wrap it up here, though, I do want to say, when we're talking about the Saints division, I'm telling you right now, the fact that they let Pittsburgh score 4 touchdowns. Okay, and I can say this as a Steelers fan. Sometimes it takes 3 games to equal that total. So I feel like if that's the best the division has to offer, I feel like Danny's team has got a good chance. Like, they made Mason Rudolph look competent. That's really hard to do. So I'm just simply saying, like, if that's the best that they have to offer, yeah, I feel like Danny Saints is probably going to win that division. So I just put it out there.
Gotcha.
But I really appreciate all 3 of you all coming on your day off. I really enjoyed the conversation. Got some very good info. I'm definitely excited to see where you all go this season. I definitely plan to be there on the 31st. So I'm really looking forward. I think that's the only Thursday game this year, which I don't. Like, how do you all feel about Thursday games, though? Yay, nay? Like, do you like the Thursday games? How? Because obviously you used to play on Fridays, but like, so that Thursday game, how you all feel about that?
I like the Thursday game because a lot of the students I go to at school, if it's on Saturday, they going to OU or OSU. So I just know because on Thursday, all the students going to come out to the game and support. But away games for sure got to be Saturdays. But I think it's good to switch it up just for more fan attendance.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You definitely have more. Support on Thursday. Everybody's still at school. Everybody's still in the dorms and everything. So that's awesome. You know, the home openers here have always been great, and especially this year with we got the new stadium renovations. We have the new scoreboard. We have some other new stuff. So I think that'll be really awesome. And I'm not really against them. They're honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. You can play anytime.
Yeah, kind of what Lance says. It doesn't really. A ball game's a ball game. I mean, I don't really matter what. I just show up and I hit the guy with the football. That's what I do. And I can do it on Thursday or Saturday.
Damn right.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, no, I really wish you all the best of luck this season. I'm wishing you all the best of luck to versus the fall camp. I think that ends. Is it what? Is it next week? Is that your last week of fall camp? Week after something
Sunday.
like that?
Sunday is our last day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then I guess then school starts, and So I'm hoping you all have a good, healthy rest of camp, a good, healthy season. I know I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I think this is probably the most excitement that's been around the program. I mean, there was excitement last year for obvious reasons, just because Coach Doyle came in and it's a new chapter. But I think in terms of like legit excitement, I mean, maybe. I don't know, because I'm gonna say 2017 probably was the last time like I feel like there's been this much energy around the program, like just given the returning talent and the infusion of talent. I just think that like hopes are really high, and then obviously all the investments and the boost to the stadium and program and all that stuff. So I'm wishing you all the best of luck. Again, any time you gentlemen want to come back on, just let me know. We can set something up. I appreciate everybody that came through. This should be up shortly after we stop going live. I think it has to render itself, and then it'll be I think in the playlist. It'll be somewhere on the channel. I'll figure it out and make a tweet about it. So follow me there. So again, I appreciate you all and appreciate everybody out there. So thanks for coming through. Hope to see you guys after a win on the 31st. Yeah, appreciate you all.
Anytime. I appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thank
bro.
you. Oh yeah.